Hey guys, we are back once again for a story time for my bedroom. Before we get started on this next crazy story, go ahead and click the bell for notifications so you'll be the first one to know when I've uploaded a video. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and welcome to all the new subscribers. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel and then share the video if you want to share the video. And also give the video a thumbs up and leave comments too. I love comments, you guys. I try my best to respond to each comment. I try my best to do that. So, this particular story, I think when I told the story of I ain't smoking no more. So if you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and check that video out. But I made a statement in that video to say that I saw my dead mother one time when me and my kid's father decided we were going to be weed head pot smokers. So let me go ahead and tell that story because I think I asked you guys to remind me to tell that story. So let me go ahead and tell that story. But before I actually tell that story, I have to go before then. So this was in 1990. So in 1990, I was pregnant with my first daughter, Brittany. That's the one we was running down the alleyway, and I didn't know I was pregnant. So Brittany's birthday is in September. And so in August of that year, my mom passed away. So my mom had been sick for like a number of different years. She was on dialysis, and the life expectancy for somebody on dialysis is 8 years. And I think it was the 8 year mark and she passed away. But my dad and my mom was in the hospital, and my dad and mom lived in Indianapolis at the time. So she was in a hospital and it's called Methodist. That's like RUC in Cincinnati, the major hospitals. One of the best hospitals is Methodist in Indianapolis. And so my dad went to go visit her. And the last thing she was talking about was my daughter, Brittany. She said, I wonder what Brittany's going to look like when she's born. I can't wait to see her. And I already had my daughter named before she was born. So just that little piece of information. And so my dad left the hospital. Now, mind you, Methodist Hospital is on Capitol Avenue. My grandmother lived at the other end of Capitol Avenue. And so he drove home. He said, okay, Neil, I'll be back tomorrow. And she was like, okay, I'll see you then. And so he drove to the other end, the 3700 block at Capitol Avenue. And by the time he had got there, the hospital had called and said that my mom had died. And so this was literally, you guys, 2 weeks before the first grandbaby was born. So, of course, we all were upset. Of course, we all were crying. I was just hurt that she didn't get to see her first grandbaby, and this was the last thing that she was talking about. And so, we moved past that. So here we are, fast forwarding some years later. And I think at this time I had 3 kids. And so me and my kid's father decided we were going to smoke weed. So, well, we were already smoking weed. But this particular night, we went and put the kids up. And if you ever watched the video before where I said angel dust, me and him would go in the back room and we would shut the door and push the towel up to the door, make sure the kids were settled in. And we would go ahead and we would smoke weed in our room. And so we ended up this time, normally we would just smoke weed, but this time we decided we're going to drink and smoke weed. So we're like getting deeper into the drug scene, you guys. So we had this drink called Alizé. Here's a picture. So we had this drink called Alizé. It was really good. And so we're like real life drinking it out of the bottle, you guys. So we're smoking the weed and we're drinking Alizé. Now, we had the light off. I don't know why we was doing this in the dark like we wasn't grown, y'all. So we're sitting there drinking and smoking at the same time. Now, let me tell you something for all you weed smokers out there. If you smoking weed, it doesn't take a long time to get high, but if you add alcohol with it speeds up the process. So I don't know if we was high or if we was drunk. All I know was we was higher than two cootie birds, honey. We was high in the kite. We was high in the kite. So we're sitting there and we're smoking and we're puff, 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 and we're passing. And then when I pass it to you, I take a little sip of the Alizé, and then you pass it to me, and I'm smoking, and you take a sip of the Alizé. And by this time, honey, we are tore all the way up. We're high, like if y'all ever seen that movie with Dave Chappelle, half baked, and the man started floating up in the air. That's how high we was. We was floating. So the door was closed. Now how the door got open, I have no. Okay. He went to the restroom and came back and left the door open. That's how it all happened. So the door stayed open, but the hallway light was on. Okay, so we're sitting up there and we're just talking about crazy stuff. I'm like, how does the moon, hang in the sky the way it does? You know how you start philosophizing and thinking about stuff that you really don't. And how does a cat have 9 lives when we die one time, we're dead, but a cat has 9 whole lives? Why were they blessed with 9 lives? So we're passing the weed and we're smoking and passing the weed. And I turn my head like this. Now, mind you, he's sitting on the edge of the bed. And then over in the corner where I was sitting at, which was right close to the bed, there was like this big green cushion chair that I had in the room. So I'm sitting there and I look toward the room. Honey, I seen Inez in the doorway. I'm like this. Oh, God, dog. She in the doorway. So I see my mother in the doorway. She probably was in there talking about, why y'all smoking that weed? So she's in the doorway. And she had on a skirt, a blouse, and some stockings. Now, I don't know why my mama ain't had no shoes on. She done came back from the dead with no shoes on. Maybe they didn't put no shoes on her in the coffin. Because you know that bottom half do be closed. But I would think they would put shoes on her. So she gonna come back and haunt me because she don't have shoes on her feet. So I'm like, I looked at him, I said, my mama died. Y'all, I don't know what level of highness I was on. I just said, my mama died. And so I took another puff and then I passed it to him. He was like, that's so messed up. Now I'm crying, right? He start crying. Why you crying and your mama ain't dead? How did his mama be? She's still alive. You don't ever die. They two peas in a pie. So he bust out crying. He was like, that's so sad that your mama dead. And I'm sitting there drinking. I was like, I just can't believe it. She ain't never get to see the grandbabies. That really, really hurt my feelings. And he was like, I know that's messed up. So he passed me the weed back. And I was just sitting there like, I wish he was here to see the grandbabies. They so beautiful. And I mean this, and he's crying, I love your mama. She was so cool. And I looked at him, I said, my mama never liked you anyway. She didn't, y'all. She couldn't stand him. I said, my mama never liked you. He was like, she didn't. I said, nah, she never liked you. She called you a shifty Negro one time. So he passed the weed back to me. And I'm sitting there, he tells me, it don't matter. She was cool, people. She was mad cool. I was like, what is going on? So we're sitting here crying. When I say we are bawling about my grandmother. And then all of a sudden I went from crying to being upset. So I'm on this emotional roller coaster, y'all. I go from crying to be pissed at him like, and next thing you know, I took a puff. I said, what are you crying for? Your mama is alive. I said, she live up in Blanchester. What you crying for? I'm crying because you cried. I said, you don't know how I feel. He was like, I'm just trying to be here for you. Y'all, we was two hot messes. I said, what level of a hidem have I gotten to that I'm now seeing dead people, y'all? Before I was up there trying to hack the kids up with the angel dust. And now, well, after that, I was trying to hack the kids up with the angel dust. I should have stopped smoking weed when I seen my dead mama in the doorway, y'all. She was in the doorway with a blouse on, a skirt, and some stockings and no shoes on. And then I don't know when she left the doorway. I don't remember when she left the doorway because I'm too busy arguing with him, telling him that my mama never liked you. So while you doing all that crying, she ain't care about you for real. She couldn't stand it. And then the fact that I told her. So then by this time, I get myself, I'm like, I'm going to wash my face and don't smoke up out of weed. I'm going to be back. So I walked to the bathroom. You guys, my eyes was so red. And I'm like this. So red, so small. I halfway stumbled to the bathroom because we were just so drunk and wasted and high. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And I think after that, I told him, if we're going to smoke weed, we're never, ever going to drink with it again because we were both crying. We were both upset. We were two blubbering messes. And I don't know if you get that high that you start, maybe it was bringing up suppressed feelings that I had that I never really dealt with, or just it brought up, I thought we were going to be like giggling. You know how some people get weed and you start to giggle and laugh all the time, but being drunk and weed really opened me up for like emotions to flood out. Honey, you know how some people get drunk, and some people get drunk and just laugh and giggle and sit down, and then some people get drunk and bust out crying. But I went from crying to being mad at him because your mama's still alive, and how dare you sit here and cry with me and my mama gone. Y'all, after that, I told him, I said, I'm not smoking no weed no more. I said, I'm done with it. I'm seeing dead people, and I'm not supposed to be seeing dead people. I don't care nothing about no ancestors or none of that. I ain't trying to see no dead people, and I'm definitely not supposed to be want to see my dead mother. I don't want to see that at all. And so after that, I still was smoking weed, y'all. Because that's when I got the angel dust after after some time after that. So it was going on for a minute, you guys. But I tell you, the moral of the story is, honey, close your bedroom door if you're going to be doing all of that. So the dead folks won't stand in the doorway. And if you see one, ask somebody ain't got no shoes on. I might have to find a funeral director. Maybe up here, Hall and Jordan is the main people up here. I'm going to Hall and Jordan and see if they put shoes on dead folks. Because if I find out they don't put no shoes on dead folks, that's why she was in that doorway with stockings on. Does anybody know what they put on the dead people's feet? I know when you open up the casket, if you have a full body, they got some shoes on. But I wonder what they put on the dead people's feet. You know, I don't even want to know, y'all. It don't even matter. She was in the doorway with no shoes on, and I don't know what color her outfit was. It was all black, but I knew that was her by the silhouette and the way that she was built. Honey, all I know is don't mix weed and Alizé, because, baby, it'll take you out. It'll take you out. Y'all, this is story time for my bedroom. I thank God for deliverance from the reefer. Story time for my bedroom. Go ahead and click the bell for notifications. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and go ahead and share the video. Put something down in the comment. Who all out there smoking weed was smoking weed back in the 90s and drinking on Alizé? Alizé back in that day was like our Hennessy this time, or Patron. Honey, Alizé was wonderful. It was wonderful. But I got delivered, y'all, so let me quit reminiscing before I try to go get some Alizé. I will see you guys and have another story for you on Monday. Peace.